Hello, everyone. Today is October 17th, 2024. I'm going to tell you a story today about my career as a life insurance agent. It was a short career. It was a career which I do not recommend. I look at it as being a half step up from a pyramid scam, at least the company that I was working for. And the company that I was working for was one of the major suppliers of life insurance in America. And if you look online, you really do see a lot of negative reviews of the life insurance industry as a whole. And I'm here to share with you my experience and why maybe you want to think twice before accepting an offer from a life insurance agency. But anyway, a few years ago, I was fresh out of a job which I had held on to for over a decade. I received a phone call from an acquaintance. They knew about my situation and gave me a call because they wanted to give me an offer, an opportunity to work for their company as a life insurance agent. I was naive about the industry. All I knew is that this was a job offer, and I was told I could definitely make some good money. The person I spoke to was very professional, and he apparently had done well for himself, at least seemingly he did. So I took him up on his offer, and he said, well, we have 3 interviews you have to get through first, but we're going to do some priming. We are going to do some prepping, and let's see how it goes. So I did them. I did A-OK apparently. I had to fill out some things on the website as well, and I received an offer from the company. But first, I had to take some classes in order to pass or get my license because you have to be licensed through the state and on a federal level as well. So I took care of that. It took me a little bit of time. It needs to be noted that during this time, you are not given a stipend, you are not given a salary, and you are not given any benefits. So it didn't feel too good, but I was assured, don't worry, just stick with the program and everything is going to be A-OK. From there, you jump into training pretty much right away through the company-specific training. They teach you everything about all the products and services you can provide for your client. Then they kind of go in and they try to teach you how to sell life insurance. Now, the way they go about doing it, they do have some good ideas in general, but really I can foresee it taking a long time to actually build a proper base unless you know a lot of people. And it's true what they say. A lot of times success is based on who you know. And if you really don't know an audience that is going to buy life insurance, well, then you are SOL. It's going to take time, but time is not something that you have, which seems odd because they're not paying you anything. So why can't they give you a little bit of time? Anyway, I was told to jump on a sales call and during the evening time. This might actually help me quite a bit. That's what my manager told me. But I noticed that during the course of our classes, they were all done via Zoom. It was a ginormous class for a little office. And I thought to myself, this doesn't seem exclusive. I started talking to people, so on, etc. And professionally, they were all over the map. Some had more or less just graduated high school. Some had were a little bit older and in between jobs and were told this would be a great opportunity. Educationally, they were all over the map as well. So it didn't make too much sense for me. Everyone was cool though. But we proceeded to take class after class after class, day after day, week after week, and we're not being paid for this. And I noticed a lot of people would drop off. We would have a lot of new people join the phone calls. It was kind of just like this weird rotation, and I wasn't too impressed with it all. I was told I had to buy some business cards, and I needed a new computer as well. This was going to cost money, and my friend, who was also starting this journey at the same time as me, thought you could write it off, and it seemed like a lot of people thought you could write it off. You definitely can't write off anything. It's not a 1099 job. It is a job through an employer, so whatever you pay, it's out of pocket. I had to buy a bunch of business cards. That was out of pocket as well. And I remember they were trying to bring us in the office. They were unsuccessful because this was like around COVID, but I was excited to go in the office to meet some of my coworkers and some of my managers. It's always good to meet people face to face, but I found out that if you do go to the office, you have to rent a desk space. So you actually have to pay to have the privilege to sit at a stupid desk. They wanted us to do that, and I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. That's horrible, especially since I've invested already a number of months into this company and haven't received a cent. Anyway, I was told to jump on a sales call, so that's exactly what I did. I was told this class, this evening class, is going to help generate some leads for me. So I was curious. I was absolutely like wanting to know, how do people go about generating leads? Some people have the ability to sell to family members, to people, friends, so on, etc. However, these people tend to have a little bit more money than the average Joe, because not everyone can afford this life insurance. And then secondly, a lot of them get it through their job anyway. Your selling point is this life insurance sticks with you even after your job, so you can pass it on to your kids, so on, etc. But the people I know, family members, I was pretty disconnected from them. A lot of them are overseas. A lot of them don't speak English. It was not an option. And a lot of my friends were in no way, shape, or form going to get any life insurance at all. I mean, geez, I know some rough and rowdy people. This is not the type of people that are going to have the luxury of buying life insurance. But I was told to pull up all of my contacts. I was told to pull up all of my friends via social media. I was curious why I was asked this. I think a few people were. And the manager said, all right, guys, I need you to contact all of your contacts and give them these messages. And he was trying to sell us on this, and he was telling us to be pretty aggressive about it. So I definitely more or less told him to F himself in my head. I'm not going to do that. But I stated I was doing that because it would have been borderline inappropriate, especially at that particular time for me, someone who's kind of in recovery, to all of a sudden reach out to people because they would just think I was a wackadoo. They already thought I was a wackadoo because I was a wackadoo. Anyway, people just kind of kept on going forward with it. And I don't think anyone was impressed. This wasn't a class. This was just them trying to spark some sales. And it's important to note, once you make a sale, your manager will also get a portion of that sale. So this is kind of like a pyramid scam. You are legit their downline. So they are making money off of your work. You can make money too, potentially, but I didn't really like it at all. Anyway, that class kind of came and went, and the next day we were told to go into another class, and they asked us about how we did last night. They told us, yeah, we dropped this on you guys. This is how you generate your leads. You have to really dig deep with your contacts. And we told them about our experience, and I was professionally transparent. I didn't say I really had the target audience to sell life insurance to. And they said, well, you don't know that, blah, blah, blah. I do know that. Okay, I'm not a moron. I have more career-wise. I've done more than my manager has done, so I didn't need to hear a lecture from somebody. But we were then told studies have shown that you have to contact all of your contacts a total of 4 times in order to really generate authentic interest. And that might be the case. I'm not quite sure, but I didn't feel comfortable trying to aggressively sell life insurance to my family and my close friends. That just puts some weird pressure on them and changes the dynamic of your relationship. It didn't sit well with me. So I try to go about doing other things. I was trying to think like, hey, maybe I could send a mailing out. Maybe I could look for people who just bought homes and starting families. I could do some research, but they only give you a small timeline in order to start making sales. You have to make X amount of sales to stay with the company, to have the privilege to continue to make this company money. If you do not, you're more or less asked to leave, right? I mean, not really asked to leave. You just kind of fade away. I wanted to fade away, but I got a phone call from the big wig, the big manager, and they called me and they said, we saw, there was this guy who was this like morbidly obese, tall guy who's kind of a jerk, really smart though. And he had a big burly voice, and he was like, what the hell is going on with you? Like, we expected you to do X, Y, and Z, and here we have nothing. Let's see something. You say you have no one to sell to? I disagree. Do you have a sibling? I do. I have a brother. Is he married? Yeah, he's a newlywed. Does he have children? He has a stepkid. Well, there you go. That can be your first lead. I want you to set up a meeting with them. It's just a meeting. Remind them that it could be nice and simple. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to set some plans for you. First, I want you to set up a meeting. So I do. I set up a meeting with my brother, his wife, so on, etc. This is going to be easy peasy, and I'm not putting pressure on my brother. I told him ahead of time. He set some programs up for my brother and his wife, and he showed me everything he was going to do. And he was like, I'm going to sell them both on this. This is what we need to do for each other. This is what you need to do if you're going to have the privilege of continue working here. And the plans, I think for my brother was $981 a month, and for his wife was like $930 a month. Who the hell can afford that on top of a mortgage, on top of paying for your kid, on top of paying for yourself? I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. It's kind of a spit in the face. So I told my brother about this, and my brother was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. And I was like, I don't freaking blame you. And I ignored this Carlos's like demands. He's not paying me. Piss off. So that was like the end of it in my mind. And I told my friend, hey man, this is BS. You know, this is kind of a pyramid scam. I'm not appreciating this. This is not how I want to do business, so on, etc. They reminded me that this company was big and people make money, but I go and I look up reviews, and I notice like on their YouTube channel, they always shut off comments, and Glassdoor, they try to minimize any damage, so on, etc., because their career sucks overall. It really does, but I believed in it, and I did some homework, and I noted in my area, the average amount that people were making as a life insurance agent was about $77,000 starting, or just that was the average. I thought that wasn't too bad, just starting out, and you can always increase your sales. But there's a difference between the average and the mean, right? And the average is taking into account the people who sell a ton of money, and it's not including the people who haven't made their initial sales yet. So if they include that, the mean would be tremendously lower, and the retention rate there is very, very, very small. So I would suggest staying away from it, but I've heard some different stories about people working in life insurance that have done well for themselves. Do your homework. That's my story. Have a good one.